everybody and welcome to another Train Sim World 3 video. We're in the training centre now and we're going to
Welcome to Train Sim World, an immersive and highly detailed rail simulation featuring authentic routes and trains from around the world.
We're going to do all four.
This is the training center. Here you can learn about how to navigate and interact with the world, as well as how to operate the many trains.
Why does she sound American?
Let's start by looking around. Find each of the markers and look at them.
I swear Dovetail's an English company. Well, it's an English company, but now it's been taken over by a French company. But it wasn't when this was done, it was still an English company. I think it still is an English company, it just has a French parent company now, if I understand correctly. But I still don't understand why it's an American speaking. So yeah, we're going to do all four training scenarios that are here. I might as well, because on the newer games now, on newer DLCs, when you get a new train, you're not doing the training scenario in the route anymore, are you? We're doing it here at the training centre. So what I might do is add them to the playlist. We shall see. I won't change what the episode.
Your current objective is shown at the top left of the screen. Walk to the blue marker to complete the current objective.
But I will add it to the training centre playlist. It just won't be like a training centre episodes, those ones, but they will be part of the playlist, I think, going forward.
You've been awarded some action points.
Yay.
These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience level for the game.
Cool.
This is one of the many types of route tasks to be discovered. Keep an eye out for many more types and styles of route tasks, which can involve placing, collecting, or fixing a variety of things.
Really, I should have done this.
Head into the main building, and you'll continue your induction there.
Really, I should have done this when TSW 3 first came out, shouldn't I? They've got a big announcement coming at the end of August. We're not getting a roadmap in August, unfortunately, but they got this big introduction coming up. Hopefully, it'll be just Trains' route, and it won't be an announcement of TSW 4.
You can pause Train Sim World at any point to review objectives and a lot of other information about what's happening at the moment. Try it now, and then return to the game after you've had a look around.
See, and this is one of the things that frustrate me in TSW. And in the past, I would have sworn, but I'm not going to because I found out that kids do watch my videos, so I'm not going to swear from now on, as I said in my last video, as I did apologise to M. So yeah, no swearing. In the past I would have been swearing blind, but I'm not going to. So yeah, this is one of the things that frustrate me. You can sit down here. So why can't we sit down on the benches and that, on platforms, in the DLCs and the routes? Why not? When waiting for a train, why can't we just take a seat like we can in here? And it does annoy me.
Now that we've covered some of the basics of moving around and interacting with the environment, let's take a walk through the building and find the trains.
Can't sit in these seats because they're part of the table, but any other seats and benches around here you can.
This is Central Square. From here you can explore the main training center depot and surrounding yards.
So, and that's another feature they could add to this. We've only got the 4 trains here that came with Why can't we add the other trains? It's just all the southeastern trains in a class 66. I think the 66 comes in 2 different liveries on here as well. But look, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines there, 3. And I think you have some trains over there as well. And you have some trains over there as well. But they're all from the southeastern route. Why can't we have the ability to place trains here from other DLC? Now I'm not saying from Train Sim World 2 or Train Sim World 1 or Train Sim World 2020, you know, but going forward from Train Sim World 3, why can't we have the ability to place trains that we want in the yard? Because it is dual voltage here. You've got the third rail as well as the overhead catenary, and you can use diesel trains, so you should be able to go up to each one of these like ends of lines, like the bumpers there, and place trains there if you wanted to, and then you can swap and have different trains in where you want, or just the ability to put any train where you want anywhere on the map, you know. So if I wanted to place a few trains, like say if I came on the map here and I wanted to put a train there or there or there, or I wanted to put one over here or over here at the end here, then I should have the ability to do that. You've got 3 dead end lines here, put some trains there on these 2 as well. Well, not there, there's a train there, so you wouldn't be able to put it because it would be blocking the line, so you wouldn't be able to put one on that one. But on these 2 here and those 3 up there. You know what I'm saying? It would be like that. You wouldn't be able to put on that top line there, but you'd be able to put some on these 2 here. It will just make it better, so we're not seeing the same trains over and over and over and over again every time we come in here. You know, that would be good.
Your journey operating trains is just getting started here in the training center. Remember, you can always come back here from the main menu to refresh your knowledge if you're unsure about anything.
So it'd be good if we could just come here and just place a train. There, boink, train comes in. If there's a train already here from the default trains, go in there, boink, have the option to change what train you want there. It would just give us a bit more variation, wouldn't it? So the same thing all the time. And I was right, you got the grey 66 there, and you've got the EWS 66 over there.
Continue to learn and other training modules here in the training center, and then you'll be ready to take on more challenges in other environments.
So we get a nice little gold level. Very easy to do. Took me 8 minutes and 6 seconds, even though it says it's only 5 minutes. Let's go to the next training module. I'm going to do all the training modules in here. So this is screen elements.
This module will cover the on-screen overlay, known as the heads-up display or HUD, that is shown when you are in control of a train.
So we have left off where we was.
Climb up the ladder into the locomotive and then sit in the seat.
Can we sit on these seats as well? Yeah, we can. So we can sit in seats like this out here. Why can't we in the routes? It doesn't make any sense. Like how you can only have was it Rivet Games, their Scottish route. It's got pianos that you can play a tune on, and you've got lifts that work. Okay, some lifts, not all the lifts work, just some of the lifts work. Don't get me started on that. But why can't we now have lifts on every new route that came out after that? If it can be implemented on that, why can't that be shared with other developers so we can have that in all routes now? Because then it's more value for money then, isn't it? Why should one route cost the same if it's not offering the same, if that makes any sense. Okay, it's not going to let me close the door. Right, because we're not going to be moving.
Welcome to the most important seat in the train. While sitting here, you'll be in full control. Before you think about moving the train, though, let's look at the HUD overlay that's appeared on the bottom right. The heads-up display is a guide to what your train is doing. The main part of the HUD is the speed display. A white bar will appear around the outside to show your current speed, and the red mark indicates your maximum permitted speed. This is the direction display. An arrow will indicate forward, reverse, and neutral directions. This is the power display. A number will indicate what position the power or throttle control is in. These are the brake indicators. The exact ones shown will vary by train and will often be visible in the train itself on various gauges. They tell you what's happening in the braking system. The most important one is the BC or brake cylinder. If that's reading 0, then your brakes are released. Anything else, and brakes are applied and you won't be able to move. Every train can have small variations in the HUD unique to the way it works, but they will mostly look the same. As you learn to control new trains, study the HUD and learn how it helps you operate it. If you want to see this again, you can rerun this training module at any time.
Oh, that was nice and easy, that one, wasn't it? Another thought of what the big announcement could be at the end of August when they do this video thing. Oh, I've lost it now. I had this idea when the woman was talking. I didn't want to interrupt or over talk because you won't be able to hear me, but yeah, I've totally forgotten what I was going to say now. I had this other idea of, oh, that's it, that's right, it's come back to me now. What if they've taken another old route and updated it to TS3 level and extended it? That would be a good announcement, because they said exciting stuff coming, exciting stuff they want to tell us. So that could be something else, like Southeastern was a TSW route and they upgraded it to a TSW3 route. Same with the Crewe to Liverpool route, steamboat. And they also extended it, didn't they? To Dartford on the local stopper and to Ashford International on the high speed. Now I would like, and many people in the TSW community or train sim community as a large would like to see Ashford International extended round to Margate. So up to Ramsgate, round to Margate via Canterbury. But what if they did something similar to that to one of the older routes? So say, I don't know, Brighton to Eastbourne, maybe? If you're a regular viewer, you know where I'm going with this. What if they upgraded it to a TS3 level and then extended it from Eastbourne down to Ashford International? They've already got Ashford International in the game, so it's not like they'll have to build a new station for that. We got the Southeastern 378s that go down to Hastings, so that would have that. We got the 37s that comes down from Battle. You know, maybe they put St Leonard's. Is it St Leonard Royal Square is on the southern side, isn't it? I'm sure there's St Leonard's East or St Leonard's West. I think it is. I should know because I used to live down there. They could do from there into Hastings as well, which you can have a quick play, one stop on the Southeastern 378s. Is it 378s? Can't remember. It's the blue one, blue Electro Star ones. And then of course you'll have the 377 Southerns going from Brighton to Eastbourne to Orr, because it only goes up as far as Orr, the third rail. And then they could add the class 171 Turbo Star, which goes from Brighton to Ashford International. And then you've got a nice bit of traffic there as well, because you've got 3 different trains on the route at different variations of the route. You know, between Ashford International and Orr, you've got the one train. Between Orr and just past Hastings, you've got 3 trains you could likely see. So yeah, that would be amazing if they did something like that. It probably won't, because they probably don't think of stuff like that. But it would be nice, wouldn't it? Give us a bit of value for money, you know? It would be nice to see. Another one they could do is an older route. Now, I know it's hard, but the I forget what they're called, but on the southern trains there was known as the slam door trains, but I can never remember their numbers. But they could put them on here as rail tour trains, couldn't they? Special rail tour trains. That'd be cool to see. That's one way to get them onto TSW without creating an older version of a route. You know, going from Victoria to Brighton on them. You could also do Brighton to Eastbourne on the Eastbourne line. That would be a good thing to do. It's like 4 gig. I'm going to have a quick look on Google. So if I have a look on Google quickly, just write in slam door trains. Yeah, it comes up there on Wikipedia. They were in Network Southeast colours and Connex colours. So that's it. The class 423. So yeah, they could add the class 423 and have it as a heritage train, couldn't they? Doing heritage work, doing rail tours between Brighton and Victoria. They could also do it between Brighton and Eastbourne, like I said, for the 423s. And you could have like some in Connex colours, you can have some in Network colours, you can even have some in Southern colours. I know that's too much work, they'll probably only do it in the one livery, so if they're going to do it in the one livery, I'd rather have it in the toothpaste livery, as it is more known as. Another thing they could do with extending routes is, I don't know, maybe upgrade the London to Brighton line to TSW3 level and extend from Streatham Common up to London Bridge, and also extend from East Croydon to London Bridge, because it's 2 different routes, isn't it? You can do it like the fast one up to New Cross, or you can do it via Crystal Palace, or you can do it via Streatham Hill. I know they probably won't do, it would be nice if they did all 3, wouldn't they, up to London Bridge, or even to Charing Cross, but again, this is DDG and that's asking a bit too much, isn't it? So even if they just chose one of those routes, personally for me, I'd rather them do the route via Streatham Hill, because at Streatham Hill you have the class 700s join, and if they ever do the 700s for the Brighton line, that will be one that they could do, couldn't they? Because of course it goes up to St Pancras via London Bridge. So yeah, they could do that. I mean, they got a chance. I know it would never ever happen, but they got a chance to join up 3 different routes. They could join up the Eastbourne to Brighton line, extend it to Ashford International, and that will join onto the South Eastern line. Of course, it will also join up to the Brighton and London line, which then will, if you do the route up from Streatham Hill, from Streatham up to St Pancras that joins it all together, wouldn't it? How amazing would that be? And I know DGG like to go with this on TrainSim Classic and TrainSim World. Oh, we can't actually, you know, connect routes together. Well, Microsoft Train Simulator used to do it all the time. They connected, you create a big network with them. But unfortunately, it's too much for DGG, even though they got more technology. I'm rambling now, aren't I? I'm just ratting on DGG, and this is why I'll never be part of their partner program or ambassador program, because I tell it how it is, and you know, I give my thoughts as they are. No longer swearing, saying it in a calm and rational manner, bit sarcastic, yeah, but you know, it is very frustrating. But I've done enough rambling. I need to get on to the next training module, don't I? It's only about taking 20 minutes. It's going to end up taking about 50-minute 20 to 25 minute video is going to end up taking about an hour. Moving a train is the next one. Oh dear.
In this training module, you're going to look at making the train move and then bringing it to a stop again. While many trains have different controls and are operated in different ways, there are basically always 3 controls that are common and are required to move the train. The reverser sets the direction between forwards and backwards. The brakes are used to slow or stop the train. The throttle controls how fast the train accelerates. We want to move the train forwards, so move the reverser in that direction. Keep the brake control and release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar, pointing upwards. This will release the brakes fully.
You know, they never talk about...
Watch the brake cylinder, or BC gauge, to see it gradually reduce to 0, which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train. Apply some throttle to get the train moving.
You see how in all training videos, and that's another thing that frustrates me with Train Sim World, is they never go over these safety equipment and things that you've got to turn on, like the AWS and the DVD, because not everybody knows about them. You know, if you're a French person driving an English train for the first time, you're not going to know. You're not going to know the safety systems, are you? If you're an English person driving a French train or a German train or an American train for the first time, you're not going to know the safety systems, are you? So this is something that they need to start doing in the tutorials, is do the safety systems as well.
As you apply power, notice the amp bar rising. This is the amount of power being fed into the traction motors.
I'm not sure where they are on here.
Now that you've reached your target speed, you can move the throttle control back to 0. The train will then coast on level ground, and the train will only slow down very gradually.
I don't know where the AWS is.
While the specifics of operating brakes vary from train to train, the basic process of stopping is fundamentally the same. Bring this train to a complete stop by holding the brake control in the apply state until you see the brake pipe control needle in the center of your cab desk showing about 4 bar.
I'm going to have to...
The amount of braking you'll need to apply also varies depending on whether you're going uphill or downhill, and how heavy your train is.
Hey.
I'm going to have to ask next time I see a class 66 at red light or parked up, if the driver gets out and swapping up, whether the hot plates still work. But they even took it out of 66s. Do they still have them?
Stopping a train is one of the biggest challenges of controlling them, particularly stopping them in the right place.
No kidding.
That concludes this module.
Yes.
Restart the module to learn the steps again, or move on to the next module.
Yes, I'll move on to the next module, thanks. I'm pretty good at driving 66s, I think. The only thing I can't do is a cold start to 66. That's confused me a bit. Oh look, changing path. It's the next one.
This module will go over the fundamentals of operating junctions to change the path your train will take, and how to navigate using the map. Most rail lines around the world are controlled remotely by a signaling center or dispatcher. From the perspective of the train, the direction taken is automatic. But within yards and depots, many small and frequent movements are required. This makes remote control of the track impractical. In these locations, the direction taken is manually controlled. You can set junctions by either walking up to them and interacting with them, or going to the 2D map and changing them from there. Let's change this junction by hand first. Walk over to it and change it by operating the lever. Notice how the point blades move on the track. Try moving it a few more times until you can see how it works. Let's head over to the train, and then we can look at the map.
Close the door this time. Won't let me last time, would it? Anyway.
Your junctions are set correctly. Let's get the train moving and see it all working.
Okay.
If you can't remember how to make the train start and stop, there is a training module you can rerun to remind yourself. Keep the brake control and release until you can see the brake pipe control needles are reading 5 bar, pointing upwards. Watch the brake cylinder, or BC gauge, to see it gradually reduce to 0. Which tells you that the brakes are now fully released and you can move the train.
I know, you told me in the last module.
Apply some throttle to get the train moving. Now that you've reached your target speed, you can move the throttle control back to 0. The train will then coast on level ground, and the train will only slow down very gradually.
You're not going to tell me to stop? Or end the...
Bring this train to a complete stop by holding the brake control in the apply state until you see the brake pipe control needle in the center of your cab desk showing about 4 bar.
I'll get a bit further down there first.
That concludes this module. All the junctions in the training center are manual, so you can go anywhere you wish using the map and by changing junctions manually. If you want to practice, go to Explore on Foot in the training center. You'll find trains dotted around, and you can practice driving them and moving them around the yard. Don't forget, you can always rerun this training module later if you can't remember any of what's been covered.
And that concludes the training modules and ranting about DDG. And without swearing, I'm quite proud of myself. First, that's just for you, Em. So yeah, thank you for joining me. Feel free to talk to me about anything I've spoken about, rambled about. Give me your thoughts and ideas. Yeah, so thank you very much. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe and hit the bell notification to keep up to date with all future content. And I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye for now and take care.